Hey guys, it's Baby here, and today I'm going to talk about 3 tips that I think are essential when starting off your first live stream. Now, this is going to be a lot of information that you've probably already heard before if you've seen top 3 tip videos on live streaming, but this is just a personal list of mine of the ones that I think are the most important, especially when you're first starting off. Also, I will say that this video does not take into account any other social media platforms that you have cultivated. And so this is just if you're starting off for the first time on Twitch and you don't have any other social media to leverage for your channel. The very first tip I would recommend is actually making sure you have all the right hardware and software to actually stream. This includes a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One. Both of those console devices have the ability to stream directly from the console, and or PC that you can do some live streaming off of as well. With the PC, it's a little bit more involved depending on the type of PC you have and how powerful it is. But you can still get started with a very basic PC. You don't really need much. However, if you're planning on having playing games on the PC at the same time, then you might run into a little bit of trouble right there, and you might want to consider looking at maybe a stronger PC. Now, for streaming on PC, there's actually multiple software options for you. For streaming, you can actually use a program called OBS Studio. You can also use another program called Streamlabs OBS. And then another option would be even on the Twitch platform itself, assuming you're streaming on Twitch. You can also stream on Mixer, but on Twitch, they have their own streaming software integrated into the website as well. Along with your streaming console or computer, I would also recommend having some sort of microphone. This could be a headset that you have with just one of these little microphones right here. It could be a USB microphone, or it could be a full XLR audio setup with an interface if you prefer. Same thing goes with a camera. You could have a PlayStation camera that is specifically for the PlayStation. You could get a camera for your Xbox, or you can just get a regular old Logitech cam for your PC. I always recommend, when you're first starting off, to pick just the cheapest gear possible. I mean, literally the cheapest gear you can get your hands on. I say this because, if you're first starting off on Twitch, you may be set with the hard reality that you actually don't like streaming after a little while. So this is actually a good thing to do to test the waters and see if you actually like streaming or not. And then maybe after a couple of weeks, you say, hey, I really enjoy what I'm doing with this. I think maybe it's time to upgrade. That will give you a little bit of flexibility to kind of start looking around for things that equipment pieces that will improve on your current setup. But for just starting off, you don't need much. My second essential tip would actually be developing a stream schedule. And you've once again have heard this quite a bit, but there's a few reasons why I advocate for a streaming schedule, especially when you're first starting off. Now, let me just preface this by saying this could be, this could be once a week. This could be up to 5 days a week if you really want to. I don't personally think that it hurts too much in the very beginning to stream just as much as you want. In fact, I think that'll actually make you a little bit more comfortable a little bit later on. But just be careful not to burn yourself out while you're streaming. Always make sure that you pick games that you'll really enjoy playing for long periods of time, and try not to put too much pressure on yourself to deliver. If you have a very aggressive schedule, you can always tone it down if you need to. The reason why I advocate developing a stream schedule is for you as the streamer, it kind of forces you to integrate streaming into your daily schedule. When you start streaming more consistently, it is a time-consuming thing. It will take up a lot of time to prepare streaming, getting ready for it. You're naturally going to start adding on certain things to your stream, so all of that is very involved. And so I would just say go ahead and start integrating it into your daily schedule, or weekly schedule, I should say. So that way you have an allocated time to focus on growing your actual stream. The second reason why I recommend having a stream schedule is so that your viewers can actually know when you are streaming. This will be very helpful for your viewers. They'll know exactly when to come and check out your stream. And the more times you stream at a certain schedule during the week, the more often you'll start to see those same people coming through on your stream, and it gives you an opportunity to interact with them and kind of make a connection there. The third tip I would recommend as an essential tip is actually to curb your expectations when first starting off your stream. Now, once again, this is assuming that you don't have any other social media platforms to leverage. Turns out if you have a social media platform already that you've already kind of cultivated somewhere else, then you may be able to pull some of those viewers over to your Twitch channel, which is what I recommend. But if you don't have any of that, then just make sure that you curb your expectations for yourself personally, as far as how interactive and entertaining you want to be. Even though we know you're entertaining, it may not show through the first or second or 100th time you've streamed. And also, just be prepared to stream to 0 viewers for quite a long time, especially if you're first starting off. Viewership does not come overnight. It takes a little while to develop that, so just be prepared to just stream for a little while and take your time with it. Enjoy what you're doing. I think if you're having fun and enjoying the game that you're playing, and then maybe start incorporating some commentary on what you're doing, even though you don't really have any viewers or people to interact with in the chat in the very beginning. If you start commentating, you just kind of get comfortable with talking to yourself while you're playing and streaming, then I think you will give yourself a very strong foundation for when you start to get viewers coming into your stream eventually. And eventually it will happen. Now, depending on how fast those viewers will come in, it entirely depends on what game you're playing, how many people are viewing that game, how many streamers are streaming that game. Obviously, you want to kind of put yourself in a position where you don't have as much competition when streaming. What I mean by that is, there's hundreds of streamers right now playing Valorant, so you may go overlooked in a situation where you're trying to stream that game. So maybe consider playing a game that you really enjoy, but maybe is a little bit less viewership, and kind of give yourself a better opportunity to become visible in that particular game category. All right, guys, those are my 3 main tips. Just to recap, my first tip was make sure that you have all the necessary software and hardware to start streaming. Tip number 2 was establish a schedule for your streaming. That way you know when to allocate time in your weekly routine to stream, and also you can start developing viewers at certain times during the week as well, that will be more consistent for you in showing up. And the third tip was just curve your expectations when you're first starting. Nobody expects you to completely blow up overnight. It does take quite a bit of time to develop a good viewership base, but once you have that viewership base, it's really nice and very rewarding at the same time. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and if you want to check out my Twitch channel, I stream Tuesday through Sunday at twitch.tv/vbabyv. And we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.